RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning. RBB, a live morning talk show that gives you the ability to get the coach you need, strategist you wish you could afford, social media manager and strategist, marketing strategist, project manager, certified OBM, VA, business startup strategist, profit strategist, web strategist, email funnel strategist, sales page strategist, PR strategist, time management, mindset, and overall business development strategist. We answer it all. With over 25 years of business experience, both in corporate and small business worlds, we really can answer it all.
So today we are talking about supporting individual efforts in a partnership. And I think for us right now, this is especially very different because I've had an offer that does not carry over to Gina, and I need to do all kinds of marketing and some craziness that I haven't even fully wrapped my head around that is going to be very, very separate from either of our businesses. And I'm going to have to actually spend a significant amount of time doing that. And Gina also has a personal brand that she wants to establish and do, but it's very, very different from everything that I do. So I think for us, this is a very hence why Gina came up with the idea, timely conversation, because we really do have individual efforts outside of the business efforts.
We do. And something that ends up happening a lot of times is I'm not very vocal about a lot of the things that I have going in the background. And a lot of that is because I'm in the beginning stages and I am just learning and I am just figuring things out and finding my groove. So I am not as vocal on my individual efforts as Danielle is. So because Danielle is more vocal, and also we made the decision in the background within the company that Danielle was going to start working on her book first. She had the material. Her material was better suited for something that we're wanting to launch. So it made more sense for Danielle to be the one to go first. And when she's mentioned it, then she was presented with this opportunity. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I'm thrilled for her because this is a very exciting thing. One, it means she gets to learn everything not to do, which means I will benefit more later on down the line. So I'm not worried about it. But what ends up happening, and this is something that we struggle with a lot, and it is very, you have to be a very strong person to sit where I sit. And I'm going to explain to you why. It's even though Danielle and I are 50-50 partners, I do the business management, I'm Danielle's equal, because I am an operational person or I'm an admin person. This is something that is so aggravating, but it is a thing in women's small business land, not in corporate land. That's the thing, is in corporate land, COOs are viewed just the same as a CEO because they work in tandem. The CEO and the COO work together pretty much usually on just about everything. So in corporate, it's different, but here in women's small business land, that I am looked down upon quite a bit. Even clients treat me as less than sometimes because of the nature of the work that I do. And that can be very, very tough, which then could mean that I could potentially get jealous of Danielle or get resentful or any of those things, but I don't. And the reason for that is because it's not Danielle doing it. It is ignorance in the space. It is it's ignorance. Danielle has to be at front and center for our business to grow because she is part of business. She is the business development person. If we depended on me to do sales, we wouldn't do diddly. I'm sorry, the doors were closed. If we depended on me to do any of that, it wouldn't happen. I don't have the patience for it. I don't like it. So Danielle is out in front, but that doesn't make her better than me or above me or ahead of me or any of those things. So I am very supportive of what Danielle is doing. In fact, I helped her outline her book.
Without Gina, I would be going down the total wrong direction.
I would still be watching her just do this little thing. She just goes, meet.
So
just like this.
I am an IT engineer at heart. I have been for 20 plus something years. And I overcomplicate things like you wouldn't believe all the time, like constantly all the time. It's Gina who puts me back on track.
I'm a former IT project manager. Part of my job was to fix that. So I'm very good at it.
And I'm very good at complicating things, like really complicating things. My husband laughs at me. He is also an engineer. So he has things that he does that for too. So we are terrible sometimes. My son will look at my husband and I sometimes and go, you two are idiots. You could have taken you 2 minutes, took you 2 hours. So yeah, we're actually really, really bad at that in this house. And the thing is my son also is an engineer. So we all three of them
do it. So, but I say all that to say, I could be an ass, for lack of better term. I could be awful. I could be bitter. I could be resentful. I could be all of these things because, yeah, Danielle got a really great opportunity, but she had already started working on the book, and that was a decision that we made together because it made the most sense for our company as a whole. So, of course, I support her, and I'm going to help her get all of her other things up because if she's not consistent, this book doesn't get out, and then it affects me later on down the line. Why would I not support her? Even though we have separate personal brands, everything still ends up tying together. You can't 100% separate everything ever. There's always going to be a bleed. So this will bleed over into what we're doing together over on DG Marketing and to be Boss Girl. So I gotta help her because if I don't, it won't get done. Like there are so many things that she needs to build it quickly, and that we're kind of moving into my wheelhouse a little bit with things that I could actually help her with.
And then when Gina is ready to move ahead with hers, then Danielle I have a wheelhouse that I will be able to step in and help Gina do the same thing.
Danielle, because mine will again tie into a lot of what it is that we're doing. Because even though Danielle and I always say we're two sides of the same brain, some of the things that we are considering building for our business marry those two.
Very much so. And we do say that we're two sides of the same brain, but remember, both sides of your brain do different things. One side, your right side of your brain is very, let me make sure I've got this right. Very artistic.
Every time.
Yeah, very artistic, very vision-based, very ADHD-based. That's all right-brained, I believe. I always get the backwards, so excuse me if I have it backwards. When you're the opposite side, you're very hyper-organized, and you've got things, operations, and skills to get those things done and have the patience to do that. Part of it is I do not have the patience, even if I know how to do it, and I do know how to do it. I did it for years. I no longer have the patience to do any operational anything. And I skip steps like you wouldn't believe, and I get yelled at all the time. But that makes us two halves of the same brain. Gina keeps me on track. It keeps things going the way they should. And I'm always thinking of something new to do for the next thing. Without that, you're going to be stagnant and die. So you really do have to have both parts, and they have to be working together. And without that, I know business women who own their own businesses and they're single on their own. And they have amazing ideas, but they never do anything.
No, see, I would never do this by myself ever again. We were telling one of our contractors the other day, like, and I meant it, like if Danielle up and decided she was done with this, well, I guess I'm just going wherever it is that she's going. Like they might as well have 2 job openings because I'm just going to go there. Like I'm not doing this without her anymore because I've seen the benefit of having somebody that shoulders the load of the things that I can't stand that are really important to grow the company and for us to not remain stagnant. So I'm good. Like I don't want to do this by myself. This solopreneur thing I think is a crock. Like there's a major YouTuber out there who has a major brand. And I'm sure some of you guys have heard of him. Some of you might have not, but it's Jeffree Star. And he actually I've watched him. He actually is a rags to riches story. And he has a business partner in the background that is a me. And his pay, they've taken their company, it's a conglomerate now, and a lot of the things that they do, they have like 10 businesses now. Jeffree Star's salary is in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And he has done that in 5 years with a me in the background. He said that if it were up to him, he'd still be sleeping on friends' couches and the brand would never have grown.
And I've spent years doing it on my own. I mean, I had a partner previously in the IT world, and that was
different
and difficult because I had to be the operations person and the visionary and the business development person, with them just coming in and being a visionary once in a while, causing all kinds of chaos, and then I had to clean it up. Then I knew that I didn't want to do all of it on my own when I came out of that world. So I got another partner, and she didn't actually want to be a partner. She just wanted the benefits of being a partner. And I did it all on my own. Again, it created the same chaos and issues that I had had before. Didn't mean to, was trying not to, but did. And she had a couple things that she was better at than me, but didn't want to do them, so it wasn't helpful. And I cannot do it all anymore. And I don't want to be in a solopreneur space ever again, because I don't thrive there. I'm very good at what I do. And I took our IT business from making diddly squat to making hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I wasn't happy, and I was stressed out all the time. Hence some of my serious physical and health issues now. Having a partner makes a true partner makes all of this so much more enjoyable. And I've had an opportunity. I was writing a book on social media and social media tips and tricks. That book is now on the back burner for right now. Gina and I will get back to that. Gina will get me back to that eventually. But once I started mentioning that I was going to be writing that, and I'm quite a few chapters in that actually, but that's sitting on the back burner right now. Though I did add something else to it yesterday that I thought of. So it's going to be like a brain dump space for a little while. But I've been given an opportunity to write an amazing book, and I can't wait to submit it to publisher. And I have one publisher I'm working with. So you'll hear me talk about going through the manuscript phase and the writing phase, and you'll hear me talk about this, but I only have one publisher I'm submitting to. I'm not just putting it out there and hoping somebody picks it up. And I'm very excited. And you'll see that because, well, I get excited. Everybody knows. And that doesn't mean that Gina's not doing something in the background, because believe me, somebody else has to proofread. Somebody else has to go, Danielle, that chapter makes absolutely no sense with the chapter before. Hello. That's what Gina does for me. Gina keeps me on track. Without her, I derail in seconds. It doesn't take me long at all to derail.
Dreaming. Danielle keeps me in a space where I get to have fun and I get to think outside of the box. And she pulls me out of the stuffy area that I have to live in to get like the stuffy, serious area that I have to live in. And I have been scrutinized for that in the women's small business space.
And I'm going to go back that way. I'm going to go back to a conversation we've now had repeatedly lately about how we as women need to do better. Let me tell you, I've come from the men's world, and I thought that the sexual harassment pieces that I dealt with were horrible, and I never wanted to go back to that. You want to know what? Now that I've worked in the women's business space for 2 years now, I'm seriously consider going back to working in that men's space. I'd rather have sexual harassment than what I deal with. I know Evelyn's not watching today. The shit I deal with in the women's world. Women are mean to one another. Women are. So I have and I did not do this on purpose. Real queens fix each other's crown. Do you want to know how little of this there is in the women's world? Do you want to know how little professional responsibility there is in the women's world? Do you want to know how little lack of scamming? Holy crap. The amount of being scammed and taking advantage of other people and just plain stealing in the women's business world is effing ridiculous, ladies. And Gina and I have positioned ourselves in a place of that is not acceptable. And because we've done that, we come under a lot of fire. I can't believe how much crap we get from other women because we don't accept unprofessionalism.
If you want to, here's the thing is we are not here to bash women. I don't want you guys, and I know that's what women think. The instant that they're criticized, somebody is bashing them because somebody is jealous. No, trust me, darling, I am not jealous of whatever it is that you've got going on in your lane over there. I don't want it. And the thing is that we have to do better as women because the behavior of the collective, that's what I'm going to say, is the collective. Like, so as a whole, as a group, and we always know it does not take many bad apples to spoil a bunch. So is a joke. The women's small business world is a joke.
And it's actually a joke, like literally a joke right now.
Corporate women are laughing at you because of your behavior. It's one thing, they're not knocking that you have a small business. They think that's amazing. Nobody is knocking that. What they're knocking is your unprofessionalism, the behavior, the, lack of integrity. To me, it's amazing with these vulnerable posts and all the transparency that's out there. And it's for your business. And well, if somebody's offended by that, I don't want to work with them anyway. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of things that you should keep quiet. But it's like the other day, on my Google News feed, I saw a blog article that popped up and it was like 4 things I wish somebody had told me before I became a freelancer. And I was like, oh, I bet this will be good. No, it wasn't. It was the same tired, basic crap. And that is the problem. And that's why the women's small business world is made fun of. Nobody advances past time blocking. Nobody advances past, oh, I should negotiate. Nobody advances past, don't overbook yourself. Nobody advances past that. So think about that for a minute. Nobody is growing beyond very basic common sense things. And that's why it's made fun of, is because it's like it's amateur hour and it's kindergarten over here. And you've got these other women that are running multi-million-dollar, sometimes multi-billion-dollar companies. I mean, there have been women CEOs of Google, GE, HP. We have made it, you guys. And then we come over to the small business world where, women entrepreneurship is on a rise and it should be something to celebrate. And women are like, don't forget to time block. Don't answer emails on the weekend. Don't forget to set boundaries. Don't overbook yourself.
Make sure that you're learning. Make sure that you're growing as a business owner. Make sure that you aren't learning the same lessons over and over and over again. What is it? There is a phrase out there that's pretty famous. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But I've seen an addition on it. Fool me once, shame on you. Like, if you're unable to do something the first time, shame on you. Learn how to do it. Do it a second time, you're the fool.
Yeah.
And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again with no different results. I mean, think about those things, ladies.
And we're not trying to, like, I want to make this abundantly clear. We're not trying to bash at all. We're not putting women down. Like, we
want you to do better.
Do better, grow, get past where you're at, get past, well, you need to be posting consistently on social media because how are you going to find clients?
We all know that already.
Duh.
And I repeat myself so much. And I shouldn't have to. Because I come from the corporate men's world. And when I say corporate men's world, when I started in the corporate men's world, I was one women that I knew that did what I did. I was one of the first in the small business world, one of the first female CEOs of an IT company. Do I mention that often? No, because who cares? It has nothing to do with, I don't care.
It's cool. And I think it's awesome. And, but 8-year-old Dina would have loved to have seen that, but it doesn't mean anything. It means something, but it doesn't.
It means nothing. But you want to know what that means? It means I put up with a heck, and that's not the word I want to say, heck of a lot of crap to do that job. So many IT people who didn't want to listen to me, men who didn't want to listen to me because I was a woman and didn't know what I was talking about and didn't know anything. Oh, honey, you just want to sleep with me or whatever. I have been propositioned so many times like you wouldn't believe. And you want to know how long that lasted? Not very long. You want to know why? Because once somebody got to know me, there was none of that. My first year at a major IT conference, I was hit on probably every 2 minutes. And no, I'm not kidding. Like, I had somebody slip me their room key. Okay. Like, really Hollywood cheesy. Honey, did you fall from the sky? Because I'm hurt. The stupidest.
It's an IT conference. Danielle was surrounded by. She was in the Valley of the Nerds, you guys. So
every cheesy pickup line you can ever imagine. I actually
would have been so entertained. That is hysterical.
I actually have a notebook somewhere where I started writing them down after a while.
Really?
Because I have to dig it out because they were so bad. Like, I have a book, and it's just like a small little notebook.
When I get around the nerds and like I'm actually dressed, like you guys don't really see that, but when I'm actually dressed, like they kind of stand in a corner and stare at me.
Some of them they were afraid of me. I'll have to tell you about the time I spoke in front of a room in front of them. And cheesy pickup lines like you wouldn't believe. But you want to know what happened by the next year? I never got hit on once after that by anybody who had attended before because I had earned a level of respect from them. Why aren't we earning respect? That is the big thing. And that is also part of being in a partnership is Gina and I truly respect one another.
Yes. I like there are times we talk about things and okay, so we have this one client that's really difficult. Currently.
We all have clients that are difficult.
But this one is like, oh God. And we have to sit and talk about it. And sometimes Danielle and I disagree on the best course of action. And a lot of times I defer to Danielle because sometimes the behavior of our clients is actually a cultural thing. Mm-hmm. And when I say a cultural thing, I mean, I'm Southern and everybody's polite and Danielle's Northeastern, and they're not.
I'm from New York, honey. There is no polite.
And there is no polite. See, and I actually can't compute. I don't understand. So Danielle will answer an email. I'm like, oh my God, Danielle, that's so rude. And she's like, no, trust me, it's fine. I'm like, okay. So there's a lot of that. I trust her and I respect that because I understand like that is a cultural thing. Like seriously, like it's like, oh my God, y'all are so rude. Why is everybody being so pushy? Danielle just laughs at me because I'm like, I don't understand.
I'm from New York. There is no such thing as pushier than a New Yorker. So let me tell you.
Look, she's going to be, if I'm able to go to New York with her, she's going to really going to be entertained because there's going to be, I'm going to just basically have a pearl clutch like the whole time, probably. Which, oh,
So she will laugh at what I did while I was in New York. I had some dude who's walking behind me in New York City who walked into me 4 different times at 4 different intersections because he's looking at his damn phone. So I turned around and flipped his phone out of his hand. And the guy looked up at me, kind of shrugged, and he didn't walk into me again after that.
Nobody down here behaves that way. Nobody. And so, like, see, I would have been absolutely just like.
And the thing is I didn't even think about it. Art's like, you just side, turn around, flip this phone out of your hand, and turn back around.
But that's where, like, there's a deep, I have a very deep respect for Danielle. And a lot of times, if there's something that's outside of my realm of understanding, because of that respect, I shut my trap.
And the same thing goes with me when we're talking about operational stuff. There are things that Gina is so much better at that job. Yes, I can do it, but not well. Gina is amazing at that, and I defer to Gina. It comes into respecting one another, respecting those around you, respecting those you work with, everything. Respect is a huge deal, and it's not something I see enough of, especially
I see a lot of entitlement. When there's a lot of entitlement in the female business world, small business world, and there's a reason why it's so behind and why nobody takes it seriously. There is a reason for that, and that to me is sad. Because it does not have to be that way. It doesn't. And, you know, when I entered the space because of the nature of my job and then also because of the nature of my personality, I really did come under a lot of scrutiny. Like, really did. And, you know, a lot of the people that scrutinized me are no longer in business.
There's always a little bit of the
word will come to you.
I can't think of what I would want to say, but you have to go a little bit of karma got you type thing. So I was listening to this morning, there's a song by Shinedown called You're Not Special or Special. Seriously, that is like should be the theme song these days because nobody is special. I'm sorry. If everybody's special, nobody's special. And I don't care how cool you think you are. I don't care if you earn 6 figures or say you earn 6 figures. I don't care if you have Louis Vuittons. I don't care if you just went out and bought a brand new Coach purse this week because you bought one last week and you saw another one you wanted. I don't care. You aren't special. There's nothing that makes you, I don't care what you earn, what education levels you have, or where you've been, where you live, any of those things. None of those things make you special. I don't care if you are Bruce Willis or, can you tell we've been watching Die Hard? I don't care who you are. You are not special. None of those things make you special.
I worked with someone who basically, she really had a superiority complex. If you didn't make more money than her, then you didn't know more than she did. When the money that she was making, it was all a fluke. It was all an accident. And it was all based on a lot of lies, like actual lies. I came to find later. Her backstory was actually a lie. So she absolutely made it up. And she would not listen to reason. She would not listen to anyone. She thought that everything she did, and she knew more than everybody else because she had made a certain dollar amount. So, but here's the thing, is that sort of arrogance and disrespect towards other people will eventually catch up with her. And there are a lot of people that are like that in this women's small business space. They won't talk to you if they think that you have not made a certain dollar amount. Because if you hadn't made a certain dollar amount, surely you don't know what you're doing. When a lot of us don't advertise our income because it's tacky.
And even I'm not Southern, and I still find that tacky.
It's tacky.
I don't care.
Constantly talking about it's not okay. So like I say that to say, if you are doing that, stop it, because let me tell you what's about to happen to you. Facebook is about to clean house. And the women's small business space is about to see, or just the Facebook influencer, social media business based businesses are about to see massive shakeup. There's about to be, because right now it's saturated, it's flooded. Everybody's an entrepreneur. Everybody thinks that they're going to be a millionaire, and with the changes that are coming down the line, it's going to clean house. So Danielle and I are looking forward to it. But Danielle and I also know we're not the only social media and PR, and we're not the only digital marketing and public relations company that's out there. We know that. So you're not the only social media manager, graphic designer, web designer, VA. You're not the only one out there. So quit with the superiority complex, you guys. Still be a little humble. Like, seriously. Like, I was talking to a lady yesterday when I went to pick up my car, finally, after my car accident, finally got it back. And, I was telling her what I did, and she was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And I'm like, yes, it is. Thank you very much. But it's not what it's perceived to be. It's a lot harder than what people perceive it to be.
I will often say, so people ask what you do, and I'll say, oh, I own my own businesses. And they're like, oh, that's so amazing.
You must make so much money. You must be so rich. And
I was standing next to Art's boss, my husband's boss, who owns his own business. And him and I both look at each other, and I'm like, no, it's exhausting. That's what that is. Owning my own business is exhausting. They're like, but you have so much freedom. And him and I had both been standing next to each other, answering emails and doing stuff for like the last 2 hours in a bar. We had been on stage and we're playing, got off stage. He's my guitarist, I'm the bass player. And we're both immediately are picking up our phones to check in with work and do things. And
I had my phone.
And like 2 minutes before this conversation, him and I had both looked at each other and went, okay, this is sad. We're supposed to be out enjoying and relaxing and stuff. And we're both working on our set break. And somebody's like, we're like, until you came up, we were both working, because there is no freedom because we own a business. So those of you are like, oh, I have tons of freedom because I can go off with my kids and go to the beach. Yeah, how much time did you spend on your cell phone doing your business while you were at the beach with your children?
No, remember, I was at the beach with my husband for almost a full week, and every morning I was here.
And until about noon every day, Gina was working. And then on the beach, she got in trouble for working. And how little freedom when you actually, you have freedom to leave a desk and still do your job. That's awesome. That's awesome. Really, really awesome to have that freedom to be able to do your job from anywhere. I will admit that really is an amazing part about owning my own business.
Yes.
But how often? I guarantee you, I'm going to be working from Iron Maiden tonight, at least a little bit, because I own my own business. There's no actual freedom.
Because we're trying to grow it. It will get to a point where we have grown it enough where Danielle and I can actually unplug, because our team members have it together. But it's going to be a while. I would wager it'll probably be this time next year before that's even a conversation Danielle and I could have.
And that's fine.
That's fine. We love it.
Stop telling everybody you have freedom, people.
Yeah, stop that. But the thing is that Danielle and I are weirdos. We love it. We'll get DG Marketing and Be Boss Girl pretty much running itself, and we'll go off and do something else. We're weird. We're addicted to the startup. We like it.
Yeah, we're already planning the next 5 things.
So like that's not a thing. But you guys, please be realistic. But the biggest thing is grow. Please graduate from business kindergarten. Please graduate from business middle school, for the love of God.
And please do it with integrity.
Yes. Please.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And then also, be strong enough to admit it's not your thing. Like, it is okay to fire yourself, and it is okay to Brittany Moffitt. I have massive respect for her. This girl is amazing at what she does. And she is going to tell you she does not want to go full-time in her own business. She keeps it as a side hustle intentionally. because she doesn't want all the pressure and all the things that come with it. And so she keeps her day job. And I respect the crap out of that. I think that is amazing. Like, I really do. I think that is absolutely amazing and shows how mature and self-aware and integral Brittany is. Because if she feels that way and she were to step into it full time, I imagine that her brand would crash because it's not what she wants to do. Not truly. And I think that's incredible. Like, I actually absolutely think that's incredible. And more of you guys should be as self-aware as she is.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that some people are like, well, I lost my job and I have to make money. I get that. That happened to me. But also, I had to sit down and have a long conversation with my husband. Like, I didn't just up and decide I wasn't going back. We made the decision together. And then it's been a roller coaster ride, and my income has been unstable since. So there's a lot of sacrifice that went into that. So, but I was lucky that I was married. If you're single and by yourself, don't do that. At least go get a part-time job that will cover your bills while you're building. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, that's not
because there is no legal way to make $10,000 in a week.
Not when you're first starting out. I'm sorry. And an MLM, I call BS when anybody does that. So anyway, that's another story for another day. We need to cut off because we've gone a little long this morning. I hope everybody has an amazing Tuesday. I'm going to have an amazing Tuesday night. I can't wait.
He is, which means you guys may be stuck with just me tomorrow.
It'll be good. Gina's good. She has a lot to share. So I hope you all have an amazing day. Remember to rise, become, and be everything you can today. And find the joy in your day. Find something that you can grow in today. Have a great day, everybody.
RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning.